Hello, yogis, and welcome back or welcome to the Michelle McKay YouTube channel. Hello, my YouTubers. Today, we're going to focus on forward folds. You can do forward folds from a seated position, and you can do forward folds from a standing position. I'm coming at you from Orange County, California, and right now it's warm, it's summertime. And we like to do forward folds, we, meaning us students, forward folds because they can be very cooling. And when you fold forward, you're folding inward. So it takes your practice in, right? What do you need to focus inwardly? A good way to start a forward fold practice is in a reclined position, like laying on your back or legs up against the wall. So we'll start with legs up against the wall, and then we'll do some postures, and then it won't be a long practice, but this is something, again, to have in your tool basket of what do I need today? I need to do some forward folds. And it also addresses the back body. So it helps us to lengthen the hamstrings, and it also helps us to work the muscles of the posterior chain. A little tongue tie there. What will you need in terms of props? I have a block, a strap, and a towel. So hopefully you have something. Even if you didn't have a block, maybe you have books. If you didn't have a strap or a towel, you could even use like the tie from a rope. Okay, let's begin with legs up against the wall. So if your hamstrings are tight, you're not going to be able to get super close to the wall. So you'll be more away from the wall. But if your hamstrings are a little bit more open, you can go closer to the wall. Normally, as the day progresses, our body is more warmed up. So it's later in the day today. Let's start with legs up against the wall. The easiest way to do that, if you don't have tight hamstrings, is to bring your body close to the wall and then take your legs up to the ceiling. And so now you'll have kind of a weird view of me. So legs up against the wall, let your arms roll open. And so already here, we're using gravity and the wall to help us get into this posture. This posture is called Viparita Karate. And Mr. Iyengar, who's was one of our yoga teachers, he's passed away, would say oftentimes that this is God's gift to humanity because it's cooling, right? And so the whole purpose of forward folds is to be cooling and to go inward. So here, this is a good posture to have in your tool bag. Also, it can be very rejuvenating, right? So maybe you have some things that you still have to accomplish through the day, but what if you only had a few minutes to do yoga? This could be a great posture to start, right? So legs up against the wall, and then you just start to observe the rise and fall of your breathing. And then as you're here, you could also take the legs wide apart. And again, we're using gravity to help us to open up the legs. And then notice that one leg is going to be further down than the other. One side is more dominant, one side is less dominant. And so in yoga, we're constantly trying to bring the body in balance. And that's why it's a yoga practice, right? We practice yoga, and the yoga that we practice is different every day, right? It depends on what we ate, how we slept, how we're feeling emotionally, how's our breath, what's happening in our mind. So many factors go into our yoga practice. This is a way of doing Upavishta Konasana, which is a wide leg forward fold. And also this could be a way of preparing yourself to do a wide leg standing forward fold. So they're all going to look similar. And then as you're ready, you'll bring the legs back together, draw the knees in towards you, and then take either your right arm or your left arm and roll to one side. Use your hands to push the floor away, and then bring yourself up. And then either find your strap, your towel, whatever you have, and start to lay on your back. So now you're going to use the strap, the towel, or whatever you have as an extension of your arms and your legs, right? So laying down on your back, hug your right knee in towards you, and then take whatever prop you have and take it to the archway of your right foot. Take an inhale here, and then when you exhale, extend that right leg up to the ceiling. So I am using my strap as an extension of my arm and hand. So here, the strap's going to help me to get the leg to be straight. Think of your thigh bone, your femur bone descending into the hip socket, and then the arm bone, the humerus bone, descending into the arm socket. So again, we're laying on our backs. This is the best way to start the forward fold practice, right? Because we're in a non-weight bearing situation. And then just notice your frontal hip points. Is one hip lifting higher than the other? can you make the frontal hip points equal distance from each other? So I'm talking about those two bony things that stick out of the front of your hips, the as is, anterior, superior iliac spine. What? I said a mouthful. Stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, bend your right knee, hug your right knee in, remove the strap or whatever you've got, and then extend the right leg forward and straight. Now draw your left knee in towards you. Take your prop to the archway of your left foot, and then extend that left leg up to the ceiling. And again, observe the differences between the right and left side. Hold on to the strap with the left hand. Your right hand can rest on your right thigh. And then again, that thigh bone is getting deeper into the hip socket. Your arm bone is drawing into the arm socket. And feel already the stretch of the back of the legs, right? This is called Supta Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, reclined hand to big toe pose, right? Stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, bend your knee, place your left foot onto the ground, place your right foot to the ground. Draw both knees in towards you, and then take that strap to the archways of both feet and extend both legs up to the ceiling. So you might be asking, well, Michelle, I didn't have not a leg space, pardon me. I didn't have a wall space. You could do legs up against the wall just like this, right? It's the same work as having the wall, but now I'm doing it in the middle of the room, if you will, utilizing a strap. And this is going to look like a standing forward fold and a seated forward fold, right? Stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, bend your knees, place your prop to one side, take your right arm overhead or your left, roll to one side, and simply draw your body up, and then come to child's pose. In your child's pose, you may choose to have your big toes close together or apart. You could choose to have your knees together or apart. It really depends on what's happening with your lower back. And if you can recall from earlier videos, remember when we did child's pose, we worked on various different positions of child's pose and legs, right? So take an inhale here. Just start to get in touch with your breathing. I'm just lifting my head up so that you can hear me better. And just think about like a fish with gills, and you're breathing into the fronts, the backs, and the sides of the body. I say that many, many times. And then you're going to extend the arms forward and straight and root your fingertips down, the knuckles, the heels of the hands down. Arms are still drawing into the arm sockets. And when you inhale, shift your weight forward. When you exhale, curl your toes under, lift the legs towards straight, downward dog. Recall that video that I did in regards to downward dog, and that when you come into an extended child's pose, it sets you up for a really good length of downward dog. Now, as I said earlier, if the hamstrings are tight, the backs of the leg muscles, you might have to have your knees bent, right? And that's fine. But here, this posture, downward dog, is going to help you for a forward fold because it's opening up the back body as well. Now, you want to keep your belly engaged. Take an inhale as you walk your hands back to meet your feet. So now we're at a standing forward fold, and separate the feet so they're about hip socket distance apart, and try to keep your hips over your knees over your ankles, and position your feet in a way that your heel lines up, the center of your heel lines up with your second or third toe. And then taking a standing forward fold, take a hold of opposite elbows, allow your head to hang, keep breathing in and out through your nose. And so in the beginning of the practice, you might have to have a generous bend in the knees, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. And bring your hands to your outer hips. Keep the belly drawing in. As you inhale, scoop your chest up, lift up, come to stand up. And then when you exhale, find your mountain pose. So because it's a short practice, just focusing on forward folding, it's not going to be a full sweaty practice because the intention is folding forward, folding inward, and cooling. So Tadasana. You can stand with your feet together. You can stand with your feet hip socket distance apart, or you could bring your big toes touching heels apart. So however you can stand and be very grounded, where you feel really rooted, that's how you should stand. Lift your kneecaps, lift your quads, press your inner thighs back, and lengthen your lower back in sitting bones towards your heels. Lift your heart and chest up. Roll your shoulders back and down, chin level with the ground, and the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Tadasana. As you inhale, stretch the arms out and up, float up. As you exhale, stretch your arms out and down. Again, if the backs of the legs are tight, please generously bend your knees. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your chest up. Exhale to fold. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale back to center. Your center could be at your heart or by your side. Okay? One more just like that. Inhale, stretch and reach your arms up. This is a half sun salute. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Exhale to fold. And perhaps you can notice that your forward folds are getting deeper. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Reach up. And then exhale back to center. So now I'm going to add on. It's kind of a variation of a beginner's sun salute. So as you inhale, reach your arms up. And I use that term beginner very loosely. Exhale, fold. When you inhale, lift your chest up. When you exhale, step your left foot back. And then I have that towel. I'm going to lower my left knee down. If I didn't have a towel, I could just double up like that. And then I'm going to inhale to stretch my arms up to the ceiling. And then when you exhale, I'm going to bring the arm behind me just to open up my chest. Take an inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. As you exhale, maybe arch a little bit backwards. As you inhale, reach your arms up, look up. And then exhale, bring your hands to frame your front foot. So a big part of forward folding, again, the backs of the hamstrings need to be opened up. So you could use a block here. So we're going to begin to straighten the right leg. If you didn't have a block, you could also use your hand to your ankle to pick the foot up and lift the leg to straight. So here I'm trying to get that right hip back, left hip forward. And if your hands don't reach the ground, here's where the block comes into play. Now, the more you can flex your foot, the more you're going to contract the muscles of the front leg, and the more the backs of the legs will open. Now, when you forward fold, don't forget that the back is also involved. Your thoracic spine is moving towards your front body. So you have to coil your thoracic spine in, so you move your chest inward. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, bring your hands to frame your front foot. Release your right foot down, curl your back toes under. And then bring your left foot forward to meet the right. Take an inhale, lift your heart up. Take an exhale to fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up as you look up. And then exhale back to center. Now we'll just do the second side. Inhale, reach your arms up as you look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Now when you exhale, step that right foot back. Again, you can double up the mat or use a towel to support your knee. And then inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. When you exhale, bring the arms behind you, maybe interlace the non-dominant way. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, maybe you go a little bit deeper. Right? As you inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands to frame your front foot. Same thing, you're going to straighten out your left leg, maybe use the hand to the ankle, maybe use the block, and fold into that straight leg, right? And it might be super bent. That's okay. We're working towards getting the legs straight. Okay? Now the left hip's going back, the right hip's going forward, and I'm strongly flexing my left foot so I can get those muscles to hug onto the bone, so I can open up the backs of the legs, which means it's going to be a little bit easier for me to forward fold. It's all about the hamstrings. Take an inhale here. Then when you exhale, you're going to place the left foot onto the ground, bring your hands to frame your front foot, curl your back toes under so your back knee lifts, and bring your right foot forward to meet the left. Take an inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. Take an exhale to fold. Notice the lengthening of the hamstrings. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach up, look up. And then exhale back to center. Okay, so another standing forward fold. This is Pasarita Padottanasana. So we'll do two of them. The legs are about as wide as they are long. A good measurement for that is if you take your arms out to the height of your shoulders, where the heel of your hand is, it should be above your outer ankle bones, right? So as we did in that low lunge, we're going to do the same position. You're going to bring the arms behind you. You're going to interlace the fingers with each other. You could hook your thumbs. You could use a strap or a towel in between your hands. If you're really open the shoulders, you could do like a reverse prayer. I'm going to do what we did in the lunge, pointing your thumbs down. So now we're internally rotating your arms in the arm sockets. Bring the arms behind you, either interlace with the thumbs or use your strap. The strap, if you have really tight shoulders, it will really serve you. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin, stretch the crown of your head down. Now that you're folding forward, you can take a look at your feet. Make sure the arches of the feet are lifted and the outer ankle bones are hugging in. Or maybe your uncle is hugging your ankles in. I'm so funny. Stretch your arms overhead. Maybe you feel your shoulder blades coming closer together. Now lift your toes up, and just feel that when you lift your toes up, your kneecaps lift up, your quads lift up. So you're engaging the front muscles of the legs so the backs of the legs can let go. Where did you hear that before? Just a few minutes ago in that lunge. Take an inhale, scoop your heart and your chest forward. And then exhale, release your arms to your sides. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Take an exhale to fold. As you inhale, lift your heart up. And when you exhale, walk your hands towards your left toes. So you can have both hands on the floor, or you could utilize the block underneath the hand. If you want to go a little bit deeper, the right hand will stay down and the left hand will come to the left hip crease. And you turn your heart and your chest towards your left side. Stay with your hand on your outer hip, or you can free that arm up to the ceiling, right? So you have to observe, you are your own teacher, the depth of your forward fold. We're moving towards Pasarita Padottanasana A, so wide leg forward fold. As you inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, walk the hands over towards your right side, and you might have to have your knees bent. Stay right there. You can be on the fingertips or a block, or have the left hand down, right hand to right hip crease. Now turn your heart and your chest towards your right outer hip. You can keep your right hand where it is, or you could free that arm up to the ceiling. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Ideally, you want your toes to face forward and your knees to face forward. Keep your kneecaps and your quads looking up. So hopefully you saw that the kneecap and the quad were lifted. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, unwind, come back to center. Now get that length in your spine. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold. Hands are now shoulder width. Elbows are over the heels of your hands. The crown of the head is stretching down towards the ground. As you become more proficient in your wide leg forward folds, the head will come to the ground, right? But steps, right? It's a yoga practice. It's about the journey, right? So we take our time to explore the journey, and eventually we'll get to where we want to go. Bring your hands to your outer hips. Draw the belly in. Inhale, come up to stand up. And then exhale, either step or jump your feet together. That's the Jacqueline. Pause here for a moment. Reestablish your mountain pose. So you're grounded across the four corners of each foot. The kneecaps are lifted. The thighs are spinning back. The lower back is lengthening to the mat. Navel's drawing in. Heart and chest lift up. Fronts of the arms roll to the backs of the arms. Chin level with the ground. Crown of the head reaching up. Tadasana. Bring your hands to your outer hips. Separate your feet hip socket distance apart. You can step them apart. You can jump them apart. We're going to do 2 forward bends. Standing forward bends or forward folds. Lift your heart, inhale, and then exhale, hinge over your hips, fold. You can hold on to your ankles. Otherwise, if you're going with me, it's called Padangustasana. So the hands are the index finger and the middle finger are gonna wrap around the big toe, and then the thumb hooks that off. It's sometimes referred to as the yogi peace sign. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift your chest. As you exhale, fold. So here, you're trying to get your hips over your knees over your ankles. Be aware if you're holding the weight in your heels. Can you bring up just a little bit more awareness to the front part of your foot? Can you continue to lift your kneecaps and lift your quads and draw your shoulder blades up towards your waist and allow your head to hang? It's like a ripe piece of fruit. Your head is hanging freely. Take an inhale, lift your heart, lift your chest. When you exhale, slide your hands underneath your feet. This is Padahastasana, so you're stepping on your hands. As you inhale, lengthen your heart forward. As you exhale, bow and fold. Folding forward, folding inward. This one also will give you a little massage for the heels of the hands. So if you do a lot of things with the wrists and they tend to be a little bit tender, you might choose to use this to relieve the wrists. Take an inhale here. And then when you exhale, release your hands from underneath your feet, and you can do a little sway from side to side. This is ragdoll, right? And then come back to center, bring your hands to your outer hips. Keep your belly engaged as you inhale, scoop up to come up to stand. And then exhale, join your feet back together. Establish your Tadasana pose, right? Always coming back to Tadasana. So Tadasana is the foundation for all your standing postures. Dandasana, which we're coming towards, is your blueprint for all your seated postures. Okay, so we'll do a sun salute to take us down to the ground. As you inhale, float and reach your arms up. Maybe look up. Exhale, fold. As you inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Then as you exhale, step your right foot back to a lunge. Then step your left foot back to meet the right, plank pose. Shift your weight forward, bend your elbows, see if you can come all the way down to the ground. Remember that video about half sun salutes? Tops of the feet pressing down. Inhale, lift the chest from the ground. You're in a low cobra. And then exhale, lower the forehead to the ground. Curl your toes under, push up and back, downward dog. And then explore in this downward dog. Does it feel longer, more spacious? Do you have a little more opening on the backs of the legs? And can you hug your arms in towards one another? Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Stay here for the inhale. Now this time when you exhale, you're going to bring your feet forward and have a seat. So you can step them forward, you can jump them forward. And then have a seat. So if you're in one of those bodies that's a little bit more stiff, you might choose to sit up on something, which is a good idea, right? If you're in one of those bodies that the hamstrings are just screaming, you might have to keep the knees bent, and you could use like a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees. I have the strap close by, I have the block close by, I have the towel close by. So now we're moving into Dandasana, which is the blueprint for all of our seated postures, right? So we did standing forward folds, now we're gonna do seated forward folds. Okay? So flex your feet. Your toes are going to curl towards you. Your thigh bones are going to descend down to the ground. And think about getting the backs of your knees down to the ground as well. Finding the center of each sitting bone, and then you're bringing your hands to frame your outer hips. Lift your heart and chest up. Move the fronts of the arms towards the backs of your arms, and then coil your thoracic spine in towards your chest. Keep the navel drawing in, and lengthen your lower back and tailbone towards the mat. Very similar instructions as you would hear in Tadasana, same in Dandasana, right? So if you figure out Tadasana, standing poses are okay. You figure out Dandasana, seated poses are okay. It's about that journey. So the first one we'll do is Janu Sirsasana, which is head to knee pose. Bring your hands underneath your right thigh. Draw your right knee in towards you, and then allow the right knee to go to the right. So the sole of the right foot's going to come close to the left inner thigh. I'm going to flex my left foot, and then I'm going to inhale to reach up. So first I'm going to get that length, right? And then exhale, I'm going to turn towards my straight leg and fold. Now you say, Michelle, I can't reach my foot. That's where you use your strap, right? Your strap, your towel, whatever you have. Then you're going to inhale to lengthen your chest forward, exhale to bow and fold. So here, think belly to thigh, chest to knee, crown of the head towards your toes. Breathing inward, folding forward, folding inward. Right? And also working the muscles of your back, your spine. Every time you inhale, think of elongation. Every time you exhale, think about emptying, and maybe you fold a little deeper. Take an inhale to reach the arms forward and up. When you exhale, release the arms down. Take your right hand to your right outer knee, draw your right knee in towards you, straighten your right leg forward and straight, and you're right back to Dandasana, right? Really activate the legs, really keep the lift of the heart and the chest. Then place your hands underneath your left thigh, draw your left knee in towards you, and then allow your left knee to go out to the left. Sole of the left foot close to the right inner thigh, and the legs kind of resemble tree. And you might remember that from when we did the hip opener video, right? As you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, slight twist, fold. So very similar when we were in that standing forward fold, when we move side to side, same elements here. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. As you exhale, fold. And notice the difference between the right and left side. There's a little bit of a twist in here, so you have to turn the navel, the heart, the chest towards your straight leg. If it's easy for you to take a hold of your foot, you can hold onto your hand behind your foot, or you could take the block behind the foot and hold onto that. So those things are really going to lengthen the hamstrings a lot. As you inhale, reach the arms forward and up, come up. As you exhale, release the hands down, then take your hand to your left outer knee, right? And draw your left knee in towards you, and then extend that left leg forward and straight. Right back to Dandasana. So like Dandasana could be like coming home for your seated postures. Tadasana coming home for your standing postures. Now I'm going to turn to you. We're going to do a few more forward folds. This one is called Baddha Konasana, the cobbler pose, right? So the soles of the feet, well, outside edges of the feet touching. How close you want your heels to your groin is completely up to you. Now, if the knees are super high, that means you would need to sit up on something, right? Because eventually what you want is the hips and the knees to track in the same direction. Then you're going to take an inhale, lift your chest up. When you exhale, lead with your chin to come forward. You're getting all that space. Once you can't fold anymore, then you can round. You can place your hands at the big toe mound of your big toe. You can have your forearms at your inner thigh. I've even seen people take their hands underneath their shins when they do their Baddha Konasana. Right? Keep breathing in and out through your nose and make sure your sitting bones stay on the floor. As you inhale, lift your heart, lift your chest. As you exhale, you're going to lean backwards for Upavishta Konasana. Do you remember when we did that at the wall? And then we also did it kind of standing, right? We're going to go from side to side, then we'll go to center. So I'm lining up my heels with the edges of my mat, and that's a good marker for you so that you know that the legs are even. If you remember that disparity of my legs on the wall, one side is a little bit more dominant than the other. Take an inhale to lift your heart, lift your chest, then exhale, turn and twist, fold. Same thing, if you can't reach your toes, you're going to use that strap, right? You can reach your toes, hold on to them, take an inhale, and then exhale, make sure that left sitting bone doesn't lift up. Both sitting bones stay connected to the mat. Lift your kneecaps, lift your quads, flex both of your feet. As you inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, come back to center. Take an inhale, grow tall. Exhale, turn to your left. Stay your inhale, and then exhale to fold. And same thing, you want to get that right sitting bone to stay down. It has a tendency to lift. Flex your feet, and then you'll feel your kneecaps and your quads draw in towards the muscles of your, the bone. Muscles hug onto your bone. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Then inhale, come up. Exhale, come back to center. Now inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold, holding onto your big toes, right? So this is Upavishta Konasana. Michelle, I can't hold onto my toes. All right, you take your strap and take it to the big toe of both of your feet, right? Oh, strap's a little bit short. Just barely reaching, barely reaching. Oh, some success. Okay, take an inhale here. And then exhale as you fold. Wide leg forward fold. This is challenging. What if you don't want to do that? Well, you can take the strap off and bring your hands here. Keep descending those thigh bones down. Keep trying to get your chest towards the ground. So you want to feel a stretch, not pain. The more you can engage the front body, meaning the front muscles of the legs, the more you're going to get that opening out to the backs of the legs. And then you got to continue to coil your thoracic spine in. So your back ribs, the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, they go in towards your heart, in towards your chest. Then inhale, slowly climb yourself back up. Exhale, bring your legs together. And I'm going to turn to the side. Last forward fold is Paschimottanasana, right? So you're going to flex your feet, right? It's Dandasana once again. Thigh bones descend, the backs of the knees descend. You're flexing your feet, you're lifting your heart and chest up. You're moving the fronts of the arms towards the backs of the arms, right? Allow the crown of the head to stretch up, Dandasana. Now, inhale, extend the arms up, and then exhale, fold forward, Paschimottanasana, right? So if you're able to get your hands to your feet, have all 10 fingers come behind the feet, so you're not leaving any man behind, right? You could also, it's easy for you to fold, go to the little toe side. Take the block beyond the feet, and if none of those are accessible, you use the block to get you where you're going. And sometimes you get more feedback, not the block, the strap. Sometimes you get more feedback. You're coiling your upper back in. When you do forward folds, yes, it's a lot on the hamstrings, but you're also working the muscles of your posterior chain, your back body. So sometimes you might go, wow, my back really is like feeling it. It's good. You're doing good work. Right? And then as you inhale, scoop the arms up, reach up, stretch up. And then as you exhale, release your hands down. And then we'll just circle back to how we began and just see if there's a difference. So lay on your backs, have your strap or your towel or whatever you have handy, draw your right knee in towards you. Take that strap to the archway of your right foot, and when you exhale, extend that right heel up to the ceiling. And then bring that left hand to rest on the left thigh. Strap is an extension of your arm and hand. Take an inhale. This time when you exhale, tuck your chin, and maybe your hands go a little bit closer to your foot. Maybe you can touch your foot. It's like a Christmas miracle in June. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, lower the body down. Bend your right knee, release the strap, extend that right leg forward and straight. Draw your left knee in towards you. Take your strap to the archway of your left foot. Extend that left leg straight up to the ceiling. Hold on to the strap with the left hand, right hand on right thigh. Take an inhale here, and then exhale. Maybe you lift up. Maybe you can touch your toes. Wow. Hamstrings are lengthening. Wow. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, lower. Bend your left knee, take your foot to the ground. Bend your right knee, bring your foot to the ground. Draw the knees in towards you. Take the strap to the archways of both feet and extend both legs up to the ceiling. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, maybe lift up. Maybe you touch your feet. Oh my goodness. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, slowly lower down. Hug your knees into your chest. Move your prop to one side. Place your feet onto the ground, pause, and just observe how the body feels. Observe if there's any sensations happening in your mind, any sensations throughout the body, and is there a difference in your temperature? Do you feel a little cooler? Maybe yes, maybe no. Then draw your knees in towards you. Take your right arm overhead or left. Roll to your right side. Use your hands, push the floor away, and bring yourself up to any seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center and allow your heart to lift and your mind to bow towards your heart. And just take a moment here to thank yourself for your commitment to your yoga, your health, and your well-being. Remember, it's a yoga journey and it's a yoga practice. By doing yoga with one another, we're helping one another. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like, you can subscribe. You can give me feedback. You can give me thumbs up. I have a few videos coming up, some inversions for those of you who want to go upside down, more standing postures focusing on neutrals and back bends. So these are going to be coming up. And more than likely, I'll be doing these on the weekend. So it'll be like a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday. But you know, with YouTube, you can go at any time. It'll just happen to be live on the weekends. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out, yogis, and ciao for now.